Good morning, students, and welcome back to civics class. Dear students, we are learning about the Union Parliament. No, we have learned about the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. We have learned about the terms of these two houses of the Indian Parliament. What is the normal term of the Lok Sabha? 5 years. We have learned. No, and please remember, President of India can dissolve the Lok Sabha before the completion of his 5 years. But what is the reason for this dissolution? Then we have learned that the President of India can extend the term of the Lok Sabha for 1 more year when it is, under what condition or in which circumstance the President of India can extend or increase the term of the Lok Sabha, more than 5 years. And then we have learned about the Rajya Sabha. What is the term of the Rajya Sabha? Please remember, Rajya Sabha is a permanent house, so it has no fixed term. It is a permanent house. But a member of the Rajya Sabha can complete a term of 6 years. That is the term of the Rajya Sabha members only, no? Rajya Sabha has no fixed term because it is a permanent body. President of India cannot dissolve the Rajya Sabha like the Lok Sabha. Now we have learned about the presiding officers of the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. There is a speaker, deputy speaker, chairman and deputy chairman in this house. No, the presiding officer of the Lok Sabha is known as speaker. And we have learned about his selection. Who is selecting the speaker of the Lok Sabha and when it is. And the members of the Lok Sabha, we know, can elect the deputy speaker, but at present the deputy speaker office is vacant. The present Lok Sabha didn't elect a deputy speaker, that office is vacant. Om Birla is the speaker. And in the Rajya Sabha, we have learned who is the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Vice President of India is the ex-officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. It means he is the presiding officer of the Rajya Sabha. In his absence, there is a deputy chairman. We have read about Harivansh Narayan Singh. He is the present deputy chairman of the Rajya Sabha, Harivansh Narayan Singh. And who is electing them? Already we have learned. Members of the Parliament of India can elect the Vice President of India, that we will learn in lesson number 2 of civics. And he is the ex-officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. So who is electing the chairman of the Rajya Sabha? So please remember, members of the Parliament of India can elect the Vice President of India, and the Vice President of India is the ex-officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. And then deputy chairman of the Rajya Sabha, who is selecting him? So remember here, members of the Rajya Sabha can elect a deputy chairman from among themselves. Please remember this point. Now it is about the various powers of the Parliament of India. We will learn what are the various powers of the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, which house is more powerful. Among the two houses, which house is powerful? We will learn the reason also. So first one, legislative powers. What are the legislative powers of the Parliament of India? Legislative means regarding law making. So we will learn first one. All bills other than the money bill can originate in any house of the Parliament. What is a bill then? The proposal for a legislation is known as a bill. Any member of the Lok Sabha or the Rajya Sabha can present his or her bill in their house respectively. If the chairman or the presiding officer admit, then he can introduce the bill in the house. That stage is known as the first reading. After the first reading, there is what we call second reading, third reading. In between these stages, there is a committee stage. What do you mean by committee stage? Suppose what we can say, a member of the Lok Sabha presented a bill in the House. Okay, after the first reading means introductory stage only. Speaker referred that bill to the Select Committee of the Lok Sabha. Select Committee is a committee of 15 members from various parties. What is the purpose of this committee? This committee members will sit together and they will scrutinize or they will study the bill carefully or thoroughly. After that, with or without the recommendations, they have to resubmit the bill in the same house. After that, there is discussion, second reading. The most important stage of the life of a bill is known as second reading, because in this stage, many members will participate in the discussion, close by close discussion, deleting, including something new in the bill will be there. That is why it is known as the most important stage of the bill. After that, there is third reading. It's a formality only. Voting will be there. If the Lok Sabha pass the bill, then with the sign of the speaker, the bill will go to the Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha also there is the same procedures. Okay. No bill can become a law unless seconded by both the Houses of Parliament. What do you mean by that? The permission or the sanction or the assent or the to means consent. I means okay, two House Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha is essential for the passing of a bill. If there is disagreement, the President may summon both the Houses of Parliament in a joint meeting. What do you mean by joint meeting? Already we already know. Joint meeting is the meeting of the two houses together. Two houses of Parliament together at the Central Hall of Indian Parliament. If there is a deadlock, what do you mean by deadlock? Deadlock means what we can say a dispute between the two houses regarding a non-money bill. So President of India can call a joint meeting of the two houses. Who can call the joint meeting of the Indian Parliament? Question to you. Please remember, President only. And who can preside or who will preside this meeting as Speaker of the Lok Sabha? In his absence, Deputy Speaker of the Lok Sabha. Okay. Please remember, joint meeting. At the joint meeting, issues are decided by the majority of the members of both those present and voting. Okay, joint meeting. What is the meaning of joint meeting? Now, matters the Parliament is competent to make laws on. Indian Parliament can make laws on matters in the union list. So, what do you mean by union list of subject? The Parliament has exclusive powers to make laws on all the subjects mentioned in the Union list, including important subjects like defense, communication, foreign policy. Union list of subject is a list which contains 97 subjects. 97. Okay, like importance like defense of the country, communication, foreign policy, atomic energy. Okay, like that there are 97 subjects. Regarding these subjects, suppose we can say the government want to make a law regarding the defense of the country. Parliament can make this union list. It means only the union parliament can make laws regarding the subjects mentioned in the union list of subject. Okay. And now matters in the concurrent list, please remember there are three lists of subject. Union list, state list, and the third one is concurrent list. One more is there, residuary powers, that we will learn. Residuary powers. Now about the concurrent list. Along with the state legislative assemblies, the Parliament can make laws on the 47 subjects listed in the concurrent list. If there is a conflict between the Union Parliament and the state legislature on any law in this list, the Union law will prevail. Listen, like the Union list of subject. So I already said no, there are three lists. Union list, state list, and the concurrent list. So what is the main difference between the union list and the state list? That we will learn. And now it is about the concurrent list of subject. Concurrent list of subject. A list which contain 47 subjects. Okay. But one difference is there, no? Regarding the amendment of this list, no? So both the union and legislative assemblies of all the state can do that. Okay. Suppose what we can say Uttar Pradesh government want to make an amendment in a list mentioned in the concurrent list, suppose whatever regarding education. Okay, it is possible. Because according to our constitution, the Legislative Assembly of Uttar Pradesh or the Legislative Assembly of any state of our country can amend the list mentioned in the or subject mentioned in the concurrent list. It is possible. But remember, so here one question to you, okay, here one point. If there is a conflict between the Union Parliament and the state legislature on any law in this list, the Union law will prevail. It means, suppose what we can say, Union government and the Legislative Assembly of our state, okay, passed or made a law regarding education, mentioned in the concurrent list. So which will prevail? So the law made by the Union Parliament will prevail. Okay, that is a important point you have to remember about the concurrent list of subject. And now residuary powers. What do you mean by residuary powers? Okay. Residuary powers means the parliament possesses residuary powers. It means that it can make laws with respect to all those matters which are not mentioned in any of the three lists. The union list, the state list and the concurrent list. Residuary powers. Some residuary subjects are there. For example, IT department. Okay. Is an important subject in the residuary powers, and which body in our country can exercise the residuary powers? Please remember, it is the power of the parliament only. The body that can exercise the residuary powers mentioned in the constitution is the Parliament of India. Okay, Parliament of India. Please remember that residuary subject. Now matters in the state list. State list of subject. Okay, what is that? During the parliament can legislate even on subjects included in the state list. Already we have learned now. What is that? According to our constitution, there are three lists of subjects: union, state, and the concurrent. Residuary, please remember. And we have learned regarding the amendment in the union list, union parliament can do that amendment. And state list, according to our constitution, the state legislature can make laws in the state list of subject. But in certain occasions, the union parliament can, legislate the subjects mentioned in the state list of subject. Which are these? Okay, and when? During the proclamation of emergency, if there is an emergency in the country, it is possible. Emergency, we will learn what is emergency. Okay. When the Rajya Sabha passes a resolution by 2/3 majority that a subject in the state list has assumed national importance. Suppose what we can Rajya Sabha passed a resolution. Rajya Sabha felt that subject has a importance, mentioned in the state list. So during that time, the Union Parliament will consider that a resolution and will pass the bill. When two or more states are of the opinion that the Parliament should legislate on a subject given in the state list. When two or more states, suppose what we go Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Madhya Pradesh. These three states. And when two or more states are of the opinion that the Parliament should legislate on a subject given in the state list, the Parliament may make an act on that subject, but that would be applicable only to the consenting states only. Few states of our country demanded to the Union Parliament to make a law, make an amendment, mention the list, okay, in the state list. During that time, the Union Parliament will make that, but that law is applicable only the states mentioned that one, okay, applicable only to the consenting states. Okay, here one point. When the Parliament of India can amend or make amendment regarding the subjects mentioned in the state list. So these three you have to remember. When if there is an emergency in the country, if the Rajya Sabha pass resolution, here we have Rajya Sabha pass a resolution by a 2/3 majority that a subject in the state list has assumed a national importance. When two or more states are of the opinion, okay, in these three cases, okay. And now ordinances. So what is an ordinance? Ordinance and its importance. Okay, ordinance. Please remember, please listen here. Ordinance is a temporary law that are promulgated or that is promulgated by the President of India on the recommendation of the Union Cabinet when the Parliament is not in session. They enable the government to take immediate legislative action. Ordinance is a temporary law that the President of India can announce or issue when the Parliament is not in session. They enable the government to take immediate action, legislative action. So when what is an ordinance? In one sentence, please is an ordinance. An ordinance is a presidential decree having the authority of law. Please note this. An ordinance is a presidential decree spelling D-E-C-R-E, decree, order, okay, having the authority of a law. Okay, that is known as ordinance. And the President of India can announce or issue an ordinance when the Parliament is not in session. And through this ordinance, the government can take immediate action after that. When the Parliament meet, Parliament has to discuss and approve the ordinance. That is important. Okay. So please listen. Ordinance. The President is empowered to promulgate an ordinance at a time when the Parliament is not in session. Okay, it has the same effect as an act. All ordinances must be put up before both the Houses of Parliament for their approval. Ordinances stop to operate after 6 weeks from the reassembly of Parliament unless they are approved by the Houses. So what is an ordinance? It is one of the important legislative power of the Parliament of India. President of India can issue ordinance when the Parliament is not in session. After that, when the Parliament meet, within 6 weeks, Parliament, both Houses of Parliament have to approve that. So here, what do you mean by an ordinance? And what is the role of Parliament for the issuing of an ordinance? Here he has explained the approval of the Parliament is very essential within 6 weeks. Otherwise, okay, ordinance cease to operate. Okay, please remember. And now, powers during emergency. The powers of the Parliament during emergency condition. When there is a total breakdown of the constitutional machinery in a state, or if there is President's rule in a state of emergency, okay, declared, a President's rule. There are many examples. During the period of emergency, the Parliament becomes the legislature in the state concerned and assumes all powers, including the financial powers of passing the state budget. So here one question to you: when the President of India can impose his rule in a state? Okay, an example in our country state, no, legislative assembly is there. And if the government of a state lost the majority support of the legislative assembly of the state, the governor of the state can dissolve the legislative assembly, and the governor will inform everything to the president, because he is the nominee of the president of India in a state. During that time, President of India can impose his rule in a state during that time. Okay, or if there is a president's rule in a state, the Union Parliament will see the administration of that state. A special power of the Parliament of India during President's rule in a state. Ordinances we have learned. What is an ordinance? Okay, please revise the lesson. We will continue and ready for the examination. Thank you.